So with the same old weird choices being made, will this Emperor still be a thorn in our team's side, or will he genuinely help more? Hey folks, MasakoX here. Now, we are heading in to the penultimate outing for this story. For real this time. We still have a major arc to go though, and it's a pretty packed one, so we're going to do our best to cover it in this part alone. Despite Hab, Sophie and myself really not liking to cover the Tournament of Power, given how granular it can be. No matter though, we will do our best. We still want to see what Videl can do for the team. Now that she's been handed some really good perks, how many strands were possible in Dragon Ball Super were actually handed to her. But, as we know, most of them really don't get followed up on in the original story. We're having to really shoehorn them in, and that's just down to the way that Super has so many different writers just switching out with one another far too erratically. But how would we handle Videl being a fighter in Super? In the last part, we covered the very important, narratively speaking, Barry Khan's story with Watagashi. Did anyone else initially forget about this story upon first glance? All three of us did, to be fair. Regardless, we had fun putting Videl in the hot seat, showing Barry a thing or two. I think we all wanted to show him a thing or two, together with her hubby. They were easily able to take down the beast, and then make sure that the Hercule and Saiyaman movie went by without a hitch, and it also proved to be a major catalyst of popularity for Videl's father, and of course bringing the mother of Pan back out of retirement as the Great Saiyaman 2. At the same time, we started to establish the Tournament of Power, where we had the team mostly remain the same, in fact nearly identical, with the addition of Frieza as well, but for different reasons this time, we will explain later, but also Videl replacing Roshi in this roster, the old man choosing to forego this adventure, given how he had had his fill of fighting with the 999 soldier battle, and instead valuing the likes of the human fighter of Videl, to properly represent the Earth contingent of the team. It's not just her that benefits from her place in the story. The likes of 18, Piccolo and Krillin have gotten stronger this time around with their more regular training sessions with the Gohan family. Whether or not this will lead to significant changes in the tournament and their destiny, we'll find out today. Back at Fortune Teller Barber's place, Frieza was preparing to head back with Gohan by an instant transmission. But the Emperor made one request before leaving. Before we go and see your friends, Son Gohan, I wish to showcase what I have learned whilst being dead for the second time. Just to show that I can be useful. What you've learnt? Oh, don't think I just sat idle whilst I was cast back to that hideous place. I've learned from my mistake last time we met. He powers up and showcases his true Golden Frieza power. The sparks of gold and yellow light the scene, and Videl looks very concerned that the tyrant was about to break his promise, and they hadn't even left the compound yet. Come on, Gohan! Get this over with and let's go. We can't keep the others waiting. She then decides to sit down at the side of the arena, looking very bored, hoping that her husband would quickly put Frieza in his place. But it wasn't as simple as that. His ultimate power was pretty strong, and the infusion of God Ki that he got definitely gave him a leg up. He was stronger than in the Resurrection F arc, but Frieza's gain and improved stamina definitely made this battle more of an equal affair than the Half Saiyan had bargained for, catching our hero short. In the end, Videl had to stand up and looked very worried that Gohan would actually be taken out of commission before the tournament even began. Gohan, let me help! He's playing dirty! Gohan was holding back Frieza's blows, but was remaining steadfast. No, Videl! I got this! I want this! Videl was stunned. Gohan wanted Frieza to beat him to a pulp? What? Clearly, Gohan had some bones to pick with this guy. Wise decision, Son Gohan. For you see, it proves something. We're not so different, you and I. Oh? Why's that? It's not all about strength, my friend. My respect towards you, it's far more entrenched than something so basic as that. You remind me of me. Of you? Very much so. Frieza's face crinkles into a nasty smile. We are so alike. Children of powerful men, prodigious in potential ourselves, immense in intellect and cunning. All of this having been nurtured by our own minds, self-taught masters of our own respective fields. I like the cut of your jib, Son Gohan. That is why I'm taking part in this little game. I wish to see you fight, this time on the same side. Gohan isn't convinced by this. In fact, he is somewhat sickened by this notion, because Frieza wasn't wrong. They were sort of alike. But when it comes down to it, Gohan assured himself, "At least I don't take enjoyment in the pain of others. That is where we differ." The fight continues for a little while longer, Frieza feeling more energized, having revealed his true motivation to fight. Soon though, this does catch the attention of Beerus and Whis, they being alerted to the sheer amount of power being put on display from both parties, quickly ending this tussle, telling them to get a grip and focus on the job at hand. "Frieza, I'm glad to see that you've stepped up your game since we last spoke, but now is not the right time to be letting your hair down, or whatever you constitute for hair." "Beerus!" "Lord Beerus, don't forget that. Want me to remind you personally?" Beerus hovers towards Frieza and gives him the iciest of looks. "Do play nicely with these mortals, Freezy boy. I would like to come back to some sort of universe I recognize, or else whatever deal you've concocted is off." He raises one finger and it sparks purple, and that makes Frieza back down with the utmost of contempt though. In his mind, he is raging. Now with the battle quelled, the group teleport back to Capsule Corp and regroup. The Dragon team looking very sternly at Frieza, who tries to remain composed despite his battle scars of now. That night, as the group are getting some sleep before the big day, Videl and Gohan were struggling to get any rest to drift off. "Gohan, do you really think we can win? Who knows what perils we'll come up against?" "I don't know, honey, but we gotta do our best. For Pan. For everyone." Videl nodded, and they kissed. Well, they more than kissed, let's just say. Then it came. The group were having to be transported off to the world of Void in the same way as the original, and the entire team taking the site at the arena. 7 different universes were being transported to this same location. Now, for those asking about the exhibition match, this still did take place, but this time it was performed between universes 9 and 6, since Universe 7 had just about pulled up their mortal level trousers slightly, thanks to Shin's training with Videl in 18, making him slightly stronger and slightly more confident, and a little more able to help rebuild his universe so there's not 28 civilized planets left. See, Shin? That wasn't so hard now, was it? Universe 9 almost won this time. Had it not been for Kale going nuts, she broke the tie, with Kaba losing. As a result, the news of this defeat did not go down well with Vegeta. "Did nothing of what I've taught you get through that thick head of yours?" Kaba was extremely apologetic for this lack of strength. "I'm sorry, Master Vegeta. I'll do better this time." "You'd better. If I find you to be slacking here, then you can forget any further training or advice from I do not wish to be affiliated with such weaklings." Vegeta walks off, leaving Kaba dejected. Videl saw all of this go down, and went over to Kaba, soothing his upset demeanor. "Don't worry, Vegeta's not all that cranky. Only most of the time. I'm sure you could do just fine." "Thank you, but excuse me, who are you?" "Oh, I'm Videl, from Universe 7, with those guys." She points over to Goku and the others. "Oh, so you know Goku too?" "I'm married to his son, actually." Khalifa then just wades in and eyes up Videl herself. "So are you one of the Saiyans that Kaba talked about?" "Oh, no, I'm not a Saiyan. Well, I'm maybe some part Saiyan, but boring! Where are the Saiyans?" She just stomps off, not interested in Videl, and looks over to Goku. Videl is very annoyed by this snub, and Kaba this time apologizes. "Don't worry, Khalifa's not all that cranky. Only most of the time." With the tournament rules being explained one last time, the battle commences, and the initial fracas play out identically, with half of Universe 7 going out to battle solo, and the other half sticking close to the center of the arena. In fact, the tournament is mostly just a carbon copy of the original, since there's only one change in Universe 7, so we'll not go too in-depth, at least not for the first half. But there are some notable changes that I think we will cover in this part that I think you'll enjoy. First off, let us address the chestnut in the room. Krillin still takes on Majora and takes him out like he did in the original, but he doesn't get punted out of the arena by Frost. He is surprised by him, but he is able to hold Frost off for quite a while and provides quite the interesting battle. The Ice Con Man though is infuriated that his cheap shot didn't yield an actual elimination of Universe 7. It didn't work, and he's very much getting desperate and irate, as you should know. He is quick to anger, as we've seen in the anime. Krillin can see this though coming a mile off and is using this to his advantage, having recognized the similarity to Frieza's temper back in the Namek Saga. "What's the matter, buddy? Things not going your way? Well, that's life for ya! Frost is spitting feathers now. Soon enough, he is making very rash strikes and punches against the little guy. That is until Frieza shows up. Earlier than before, actually. Having trouble, are we, friend? Frieza! Thank goodness you're here! Can you help me with this pest? Oh, that's right. The deal we had. Sure. Frost nods frantically and Krillin is just disappointed. Just as I thought! You're turning against us already! Don't you understand the importance of this tournament, Frieza? Frieza pats Krillin on the head. Relax, small one. I'll make this quick and easy for you. He is powering up an energy blast to which Frost sees and joins him. Side by side, they are evilly smirking at Krillin and he's cowering. Before Frieza turns to Frost. By the way, my friend, one important lesson you should learn from all of this. Oh, what's that? Trust no one. He turns his blast towards Frost and fires it in his direction. Frost is helpless. He cannot dodge it in time, and the beam sends him straight out of the arena and out of the contest, and out of life, him being erased because of his outburst of anger later on. Krillin is stunned. You planned this? That thing was a pitiful shadow of myself. So meek. I couldn't allow him to continue. Now be gone before I change my mind and actually do send you packing as well. With that, Krillin runs away pronto, with Frieza continuing his typical display of slick play. Now, what about Goku in all of this? Well, he is still showing his expert fighting skills, but he really isn't taking the situation seriously. He really isn't going at full chat just yet. This is why I kept Krillin in. He replaces Roshi's element of the story. Instead of the old man, Krillin is the one to take on Ganos at full power, using up all of his power to stop the Birdman. He had to. Goku can sense Krillin giving up more energy than was necessary. So he rushes to the scene, but it's too late. Krillin has fired the blast, and it connects. Krillin, stop! You don't need to go all out like this. Let me help you! Goku, I've gone further than I thought I would. I want to do my best for you, for our team. But don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Goku is floored by Krillin's bravery and determination. When Ganos is fully removed from the scene, Krillin's power collapses, barely any life energy left. Goku grits his teeth and curses his situation. Damn it, Krillin, I could have helped you, but I held back. I doubted myself. I can't do that anymore. I have to give it everything I've got, and more. Goku, Krillin weakly mutters. Toss me out, please. I'm spent. Do this for me. I don't want anyone else to do it but you. Goku nods and holds back the tears of respect. He picks up Krillin and just lightly drops him off the ring. The small one landing in the stands, now with the respect of Beerus. Not bad. A little brash for my taste, but not bad. Krillin will take that. Now having been shown the impact of this contest, Goku steps up a gear, and for the first time in years, powers up to his fullest immediately, and begins to make a bigger impact in the story. In fact, so much of an impact, something sparks within him. This gets the attention of Jiren, like in the original, and the Saiyan has to really use everything in his arsenal to figure against him, including using the Genki Dama like we see in the original. And this is where Ultra Instinct still comes in. Now, I can hear you all say, but Masako, Goku's not strong enough to use it. It's not all about strength. When the attack fails and out from it appears Goku with this Ultra Instinct sign power, it takes Beerus aback, him being just as shocked as you are. What? How did Goku get that? Whis, though, is delighted. I knew it! I knew Goku had it in him! Had what in him, Whis? Explain! Whis is more than happy to do so. Lord Beerus, think about it. Just because Goku isn't as strong in the traditional sense as Gohan and Vegeta, his combat skill and intellect are second to none, from what I've seen. Finally, Goku's broken through the glass ceiling he made for himself. He still has something left to aim for, and he knows it now. Whis is smiling the most he has had in centuries. I do believe the odds of us winning have vastly improved. Beerus is still irritated. I don't like losing bets, though. He hands Whis a bag of Earth Sweets, which was the prize for who got Ultra Instinct first. When Goku does fall out of Ultra Instinct's sign against Jiren, Frieza still heals him up, but this time for more genuinely compassionate and helpful reasons. Good to see you're finally back in the game, Son Goku. Your son's determination is clearly leaving its mark on you. Now we get into the biggest question. What about Kefla, Masako? Are we still going to get our Saiyan fan service? Well, we do have Kefla, so don't you worry. But Goku doesn't fight them. We have our own fusion. Beerus would anticipate that Champa would play some kind of dirty trick like this. He was just waiting for his brother to do so. Once Kefla did pop up and Zeno wasn't going to disqualify them because this looked really cool, you know, not getting in trouble for having outside items, Beerus smirked. Good, we can act. Hey, don't just stand there, mortals! Use the Patara! Champa looks concerned. What? You have Patara as well, brother? Beerus grinned. I knew you would pull a fast one like this, my brother. Sorry if this gets in the way of your plans. He blows a raspberry at his brother. With the signal made, the battle of the brothers begins. Videl and 18 get into position and fuse into Adel. Kefla is naturally gravitated to this and is more than happy to fight this strong fusion. Not bad. I can certainly do with some warm-up. Kefla remains in her base form for the time being, taunting Adel. But their battle commences properly, and in this state, Adel is doing pretty well and getting to show Caulifla, to some extent, a thing or two. She can go toe-to-toe with this fully Saiyan fusion. This is getting her more and more excited. This is incredible. I'm able to go up against Saiyans now. With Adel motivated more than ever, she is even starting to better Kefla, who is getting more and more frustrated. But then she remembers something, realizing what she can do, and smirks. You're good, but are you good enough against this? Adel at first is confused, but then groans. Alright, Super Saiyan. Ah! Now with Super Saiyan Kefla, Adel is immediately the weaker of the two. She is able to claw back some ground when pushing her infinite engine to the maximum, but the power gap is just still too big to whittle Kefla down substantially, and as a result, Adel falls out of the ring. But Gohan saw the whole thing go down. He transmits over to Vegeta and pulls out his own set of Patara. Vegeta does grunt, but complies. Champa, thinking that he'd won, is stunned to see Vegahan show up. 2 sets? Beerus' eyes widen. Oh, I thought you had thought the same thing. Guess you're not so smart after all. With Kefla slightly worn down, Vegahan comes in to eliminate Kefla, and he does very quickly, in the blue form, with a final Kamehameha. Now having avenged Adel, he then goes up against Jiren, who once again was awoken by the power on display from the fusion battle. In this conflict, Vegahan is able to deal a fair amount of damage to Jiren, definitely enough to reduce the alien's power capacity, but he still cannot win though against Jiren. And ultimately, the fusion separates due to all the exertion, and Jiren just chucks out a weakened Gohan and Vegeta from the ring. Having regained his composure, Goku is the one to take on Toppo. We don't see though Toppo going God mode in the way that we expect in the anime, because he is actually fighting an honorable fighter. Now, without any contempt for Goku whatsoever, Toppo is fully respecting Goku right from the get-go for his action and conduct. If these were more amiable times, my friend, I would shake your hand and buy you a drink. But I'm afraid I must fight for my universe and bring justice to this ridiculous contest. Goku nods. Sounds great. Let's get serious. Goku powers up, and the two duke it out, with Toppo then going to use his god powers, as Goku is proving quite difficult. I must apologize if this form is quite rough around the edges, but... No worries, friend. I understand. Go for it. Go all out. Toppo nods and lets loose. This too awakens his Ultra Instinct powers once more, for the second and last time. In the end, this battle is fierce, and Goku does come out winning thanks to his more agile prowess. Despite Toppo's power being stronger, he's still quite a bulky boy. Now, we head for the final battle, with a softened up Jiren going up against Goku, Frieza, and 17. We head back to the original outcome though, with 17 winning. However, Goku is a little bit stronger here because he's not used Ultra Instinct 3 times, and Frieza has regained his respect towards him, and together they fight and beat down Jiren like in the show. Universe 7 win, and the balance of normality is restored. Now with a chance to catch a breather, Goku asks Whis about the weird power he felt before blacking out. Goku, you've done it. You've broken through your own barriers. It's like what the Elder Kai told you. God Ki is a whole other level of power. You've now fully understood that, and can go forward without worry of peaking. At least not just yet. You are merely at the beginning of your journey. Believe me. Goku is stunned. His old drive to get stronger was seemingly being restored to him. But he sighs. That's good to know, Whis. But I'm in no rush. If it comes to me, then it comes to me. If not, it doesn't matter. I can wait. Whis smiles. Very well. I'll be ready to train you up when the itch arises. Knowing that, Goku now has something to keep in mind, and this means he can continue to keep doing what he was doing, without any guilt. Having said that, he is now satisfied to know that he has achieved more and can achieve more, but he doesn't feel the need to rush back to his old ways just yet. As for Gohan, he feels like he led a good team, and he once again congratulates Videl for doing so well fused, against a Saiyan fusion even. Videl, though, is a little bit bummed out about this. We were so close to beating her too! If only it wasn't for that blasted Super Saiyan. Gohan hugs her though and promises to step up the training in case a rematch was in the works. They could do better. They then fist bump in solidarity. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you folks think? What will the final part of this story yield? Will the end of Z pan out like before? No pun intended? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!